We ain't here. Like swimwear.
Man, quarantine is playing with my head. It's playing with my head, bro.
Playing with your emotions,
bro. I never realized how much my breath actually stinks throughout the day. This mask will have you remembering, bro. You need to brush your teeth today.
Like, when I had a mask on during Ramadan,
oh my god,
I felt like I was breaking my fast multiple times. That joint was wild.
Cussing yourself out, like, bro, you gotta get your life together. This is not right.
Listerine.
But Allah says that the breath of the faster is like a sweet perfume.
Musk.
Maybe to him.
Allah, that's that joy.
Yeah, man.
The flies was dropping around me. But anyway.
Right. Oh, man. But how, because you're engaged now. So how has that been, with you having to be now in what is funny, a long distance relationship, even though you're only like 30 minutes away.
A long social distance relationship. No, it's been difficult because you never thought that this was something that would actually happen or become a reality. You feel me?
Yeah.
And, there's different ways to obviously engage with, your partner when it comes to socially and everything like that. But now it's almost a way where it's like, all right, all physical appearance and just interactions are just cut off.
Relationships are completely different.
Yeah, it is
the game has changed completely.
But what?
If you don't adapt to the game, you're going to get left behind.
It's like MySpace all over again, you know what I mean? I got to go online now and I need to beef up my profile, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what you're saying, but I'll go with it.
Brill's too young for that. But anyway.
Oh, wow.
I always had to get more creative because, life is tough, as you guys know. So when life gets tough, you need those different picker-uppers, right? And those picker-uppers can be like, hey, I brought you some flowers. Or like, hey.
Hold on, no. You're giving them too much too soon. We haven't even done the intro yet.
I'm just saying.
People don't know who they're talking to. They're talking to Uncle Moe and Muslim Hitch.
Hey, right? Okay.
Today is Muslim Hitch. Tomorrow is Cousin Brill. You know what I'm saying? But
well, if that's the case, all I got to say that it was difficult. There was a lot of maneuvering. But guess what, baby? We were meant to be flexible and bend, baby. So let's go ahead.
All right. Well, Mo, look, let's get it started, and then we'll give the people what they want to know.
Let's go, baby. Shimmy the A. Shimmy, shimmy, shay. All right.
All right, let's start this, bro. Come
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And you are listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast.
Asalaamu Alakum, everybody. Hey, it just still sounds good with the mask on, bro.
I know it does. I've been practicing my projecting.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to project through the mask.
I can see that. It's the N95. You got the quality agent.
Yeah, bro. Of course. This is the top of the line mask.
All right. So, Jabril.
Yes.
The people have given you the name, the Muslim Hitch, for a reason.
Yes, they have. Or maybe I give it to myself and just randomly, but who knows?
Please step up to the plate.
Okay.
Because we are all waiting and trying to figure out how do we relationship while quarantining.
I find it very ironic that of the two of us, I'm the Muslim Hitch and you're the one that's engaged. I find it pretty funny. But it has been in my very limited experience of being in a quarantine relationship that you have to learn to finesse and maneuver and it's a lot of communicating, bro.
Yes.
Like people are being forced to talk to each other and talk to their significant others more than they've ever had to. Before it was like, hey, I like you too. You want to get married? Okay, cool. And they get married and, you communicate from there. But now it's like, we can't really get married right now. We could do the whole Zoom thing, but even after that, it's like it's a process to, figure out how to get married and all those sort of things. But like people are really having to sit and talk with each other and learn each other and ask really deep questions. You know what I'm saying? A shot in the DM isn't the same as like it was 6 months ago. I shoot you a DM and, maybe we're meeting up and we're talking or whatever. But now it's like, okay, the goal used to be to shoot in the DM and get out of the DM to me in person. Now the goal is to stay in the DM and be able to get familiar with each other while in the, the virtual world, texting, calling and stuff like that. So it's a different time, but I feel as though if you're smart, you're able to adjust. If you're patient, then you can come out of this quarantine with not only a good relationship, but a very strong and healthy relationship.
Yes. I think this is one of the best times for salespeople because they can always think on their toes, and whatever situation happens, if the customer's unsatisfied or whatever, they find a way. That is just how it is in business. You find a way because the customer's always right. And I like what you said. Yes, the goal is ultimately marriage, but it was from virtual, just because in the world we live in now, to physical, right? Going from online to in person. The issue now, like Jabril said, is that it just stays virtual. And sometimes you forget how much of the conversation that you have with your significant other or your partner about their day, right? And about the different interaction they had. Like, oh, what'd you do at work? How was it with your boss? Oh, you went to the park. You went to this nice museum.
Oh, and there's none of that no more.
There's none of that. So
how's the walk to the living room today?
So usually I want to say 50 to 70% of the conversation that you have on a daily are wiped out. So if you're not creative and you can't find different ways to stimulate your partner, you're going to lose.
You know what, women, and I think men are like this as well, but I know for a fact women are more vocal about it.
Yes.
They need a man that can stimulate them in more ways than just physically looking good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't get your stimulus check? Like, what? Why you need me to stimulate you? I thought the government took care of that.
Yeah, so but right now it's like if you have to have some sort of interest, some sort of mystery about you that makes a woman want to be curious to talk to you, because if not, you can't ask her how her day is every day, because
it's done. I'm saying those basic questions are done.
Oh my
they're
God.
Done,
guys. The game is changed. You can't say, hey, what's going on no more. You know exactly what's going on. Nothing.
I mean, the first few days, but other than that, you can't. What you need to do is take notes, right? Listen, see if they had something go on that day, you know, say like, doesn't matter what your partner is doing, but say, you know, they're freelance or something happens, you take note of that, or something in the media that's going on or whatever. And then try to elaborate on that, you know, because it's interesting. Or what you could do is take it to a whole different level and just start imagining, like, you know, like, hey, imagine if there was no quarantine right now. Like, where would you be anywhere?
You're gonna be depressed. Imagine if none of this BS was happening. I'd be right with you right now.
Not only with the creativity, but there also has to be another way of making your partner feel comfortable without your presence being there.
Explain that, bro.
So what I mean by that is, women, right? They like to feel secure. That's what your aunt was telling me.
Yeah.
Secure is not always money, because now they can't do nothing with your money. You could send them money, but like it's just gonna sit in the bank account. So how can you make them feel secure when they're at home and you're not even with them? So you have to phrase it in a way that you're right beside them. So if they're going through something,
bro, you got to be the ultimate finesser, the ultimate wordsmith. To have a girl think, hey baby, everything's gonna be right. I'm gonna hold you tight. Like, for real. For real.
Look, your words have to do the holding now because your arms can't. You know what I was like? I gotta listen here.
This is for the finessers and the manipulators, bro.
Listen, bro. Like, you gotta be in the way. Like, they're going through something. It's like, yo, I am here with you every single step of the way. Oh yeah, you go ahead. Like, yes. And it's like, yes, you're here with me. You know, like, that's the imagination that I was talking about. You have to take it to another level, because usually when you're out there and a lot of your partner's friends do some of the work for you. Like, if you're a girl or your guy's going through a bad day, the boss can help cheer him up. The co-workers can. Her friends can. People she meets in the street. All those are gone. It's up to you to play all those roles. That's what I was talking about too.
I don't think I agree. Because you gotta remember, that's not the only contact in your phone. Like, you still are talking to friends. You're still able to, have interaction with other people. But in terms of a romantic relationship, like, a lot of stuff you're gonna relate to that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, hey, like, I like talking to my girl so that she knows what's going on in my day. But there's certain times where it's like, well, I want to talk to a homeboy about something that maybe you wouldn't, like, me telling her about it wouldn't be the same thing as me talking to someone who has experience in it, and we're having a conversation about, you know, how we as men deal with you know, that problem or the situation, whatever it is. So I think in this time, just as relationships go as a whole, you're starting to learn who you can talk to about certain things.
I like that.
And
I like that.
you know, as you used to tell me, you can't lean on somebody too much, because if, like, let's say your girl's phone dies throughout the day, which is, I feel like is more, bro. No. If a girl tells you that her phone dies, bro, the world is over. Like, it's over. But let's say like she's just chilling with family all day or something. She's not really on the phone. You're gonna be like, oh my God, like, why is she, like, you're gonna be freaking out because you're like, what's wrong? Like, what happened?
Shorty, I know you ain't doing nothing. I know you home.
I know you home. Like, what's going on? Like, we good?
I can see you.
So I think it's important to still be able to try and maintain a life while all this is going on.
That's a great
because
point.
we're gonna be stuck like this for a minute. Yeah. So, you know, trying to maintain and keep a life and have something going on so that the conversations don't get stale, and they're just like, hey, what are you doing today? Hey, are you good? Hey, like you said, you gotta keep up with current events. You gotta keep up with.
You gotta be a reporter.
Yeah, you gotta be a reporter. You got, like you said, taking notes, bro. Like, yo, Twitter is the perfect place to go and be like, all right, what's trending right now? What is trending on Twitter that I can learn and talk about? But you really, when you really like somebody, you'll do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You'll learn about what they like, what they're interested in. Hey, are you reading a book? Like, what do you learn in the book? Did you learn something in the book today? Even during Ramadan, I was like, you know, I think Ramadan for couples who are getting to know each other was a good time, because Ramadan, even if it's not a discussion about Quran and verses and things, Ramadan is a time where you're really discovering a lot about yourself and your emotions and your spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're able to have a conversation with someone during Ramadan, and you two are able to get to know each other and understand each other, and you're able to share things about yourself during that month, I think that's a great time to get to know somebody. You know what I'm saying? And not even on an intimate level, but in a different way. Because you're not just talking about what do you like and what do you not like. You're like, man, like, today was just a rough day. Like this fast was not easy, you know, because this happened. I don't have a lot of energy. So it's like you're talking about, you're becoming more vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You're exactly right. You know what I'm saying?
The vulnerability has been out the roof right now, you know, in a good way. You don't want the vulnerability to come off as you being lonely and desperate, because then at like that point, exactly, and that sort of stuff. You know, because like, hey, I need you to text me, you know, or just that, because that'll turn somebody off, because it's already high stress right now. Yeah. Right now is a high stress environment for everybody, because people's minds are going everywhere. But I like what you said, Jabril. Finding a way to get your mind off of all those different things and talking to different people to help you stay sane and driven, you know. But I like how you mentioned this is for relationships in general. It's not just with you, it's with your girl, it's with your homies, it's with everybody. Like, hey, now you take a step back here and you look at your spider web, right? Who's in my web right now, and who are the strongest people that I can kind of lean on right now, you know what I mean? And who I can kind of go to. And sadly, I noticed that there's some people right now, or just during this quarantine, that I just cannot go to for just extreme stuff. Maybe just some simple things, but other than that, I'm just like, maybe they just got too much going on themselves, and that's okay, right? But at the same time, homie, I've been there for you. Hey, you know what I mean? I've always been there for you.
You need reliability during this time.
And you said that, we talked about this a few days ago, and I said this is the first time in my life where I've actually reached on people. I lean on people more than I ever have, because they're usually the ones leaning on me, but that's not fair. Yeah, it has to be both ways. And like you're saying, like, yeah, I need somebody to lean on, but I need them now more than ever, frequently. It's not just once a month. Consistency, and women love consistency, and as men, I think we also love it too, but we just don't like to admit it, because we're all about, I got it, don't worry about it. We need it too.
Yeah, agreed. And I think right now, having patience is obviously the most difficult.
I don't even know what that word means anymore. That's patience. Like
what do you mean by patience? And it's funny, because during Ramadan, the thing that stuck out the most for me was Allah loves those who are patient and persevere. and you read it so many times, and you still ask yourself, like, man, am I persevering? Is this what's going on? You know, because patience is kind of unknowable. Like, you never know how patient you are until you've been super patient.
Yes.
You know, but you know, you tell old girl, you're like, look, if the juice is worth the squeeze, I'm still be here. Mm-hmm. And this is for ladies to understand about guys. If a guy really wants you, he's going to take off every distraction in order to make sure that he can pursue you as best he can. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm really feeling you, it doesn't matter what I have going on. I'm gonna make you a priority, because it's a long game. Mm-hmm. So I have to strategize and figure out, okay, how am I gonna see you next? When things open up, am I going to get there? You know, am I reading so that we have things to talk about? Like, are you doing things to make it so that you two can build a relationship? Or are you kind of just like, you know, like, it is what it is. I talk to her when I talk to her, and, you know, I don't really worry about her. And like this time right now, you're presented with more time to stress about someone than ever. And so trying to balance it is important, you know, especially as a guy. Like, the thing with guys is, when you really like a girl, you're going to go in. Mm-hmm. And when a guy starts liking a girl, it's like, okay, yeah, we're going. You know what I'm saying? For a girl will be in and out for a long time compared to a guy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you really got to make your mind up and be consistent with it, and consistently put in the work, and know that this isn't those dream relationships where they're like, oh, me and my wife, we met in January and we were married by March. It's like, that's not happening anymore.
We met in Paris. No, you met at the crib.
They had the Paris background and everything. Nah.
There was one thing that you said, Jabro, that I really did like, that I try to do with all my relationship, is build, right? What I mean by building is the type of conversations that you're having and what type of quality time are they taking, right? It's one of those things where at first, like, I may talk to you on my commute or I'm working, but now it's like, yo, if I can't put away an hour for you, then I'm not doing anything else but talk to you. That's a problem, because you need to watch those relationships. You can't have people just coming in and out. What I mean by that is like, oh yeah, how you doing? Quick check-in. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, I gotta go. I feel like that stuff right there isn't going to work.
You need quality over quantity, basically.
We need that quality. I don't care if it's 30 minutes. Put away the phone, and we just talking. Like you said, let's talk about things that matters and help me move forward.
That's difficult to do, though, when you're talking to someone super consistently. Like, talk to a girl every single day. Mm-hmm. Some days it's like, hey, we can only talk for 10, 15 minutes. But typically, you know, then there might be a day where you're talking for like 2 hours, and you miss those 2 hour days, because those are the days where it feels like she's like right there.
Spoiled me.
Yeah, you done spoiled me. Like, I feel like you right here beside me. Like, we're sitting here just talking, and we're vibing, we're getting to know each other, and it's good. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's difficult to go from that to, you know, maybe there's a span of time where you can't talk as often. Working from home is changing a lot of things, where it's not the same as before. There's no set schedule anymore like it was before. Like, before it was like, hey, you got your commute. It's like set times where you can talk to somebody. It's not like that anymore. So it's a lot of adjustment on how you got to navigate the relationship.
And during Ramadan, I'll be honest with you, my quality time died down a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't talk as much because I was just so busy with everything else, and I knew that there was other priority at that time. Ramadan does put things back into perspective. Obviously, you know, you got your partner and they're always going to be a priority, but you're like, I need to get these things out the way, you know. Obviously still, but your energy is you're getting an average of 2 to 3 hours of sleep. You're already cranky, and you got work and everything else, so it's like, you'll find the time. I heard the story, somebody was saying, it was a guy, and ladies, please listen, because a lot of y'all out there, I'm sorry, are getting played, right? And vice versa. This guy's like, yeah, you know, I'm very busy, so if you don't hear from me for 2 to 3 days, just know that I just got a lot of things going on. You feel me? If somebody tells you that, like, that's a red flag from the get. That's like saying Jabro's my homie, and he's going to, I'm like, yo, Jabro, I know you my man, everything going on, but if you don't hear from me for a week, just know that I got a lot going on, but you're still my mans. You know?
That you have to then question the relationship.
I can't shoot you a text, yo, bro, you straight, dog? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm busy, but like, I'm a holler.
No one's that busy.
Nobody's that busy.
No one's too busy to give you a quick phone call here and there. Especially now, man. Especially now. Yeah, no, there is a red flag, and I think that's why you being able to actually communicate with someone is important. Like if you don't feel you can openly communicate with somebody, that's not good. You know. Well, let me put it this way. Now there is no room for unsaid things. Like you have to bring things to the table because you can't read body language. That thing isn't there. The physical chemistry isn't there. So you have to have the know-how to be able to bring up a topic, even though it might not be the most comfortable thing. You know what I mean?
One thing that's been hard for me, and Jabba, you know this, in our relationship, is that it's always been hard for me to bring up stuff that's bothering me. I used to always keep that inside. And at first, it was okay because something's bothering me. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. I'm keeping myself busy with everything else. I'm on the move. So if something's bothering me, I may not think about it until the end of my day because I'm so active and my mind is busy. But now, because I'm usually in the same spot, every day, if something's bothering me now, it puts a way bigger toll than it did in the past. Yeah, you'd be exhausted. I did not know. And guys and girls, if you had the luxury or alhamdulillah been blessed to talk with somebody else, let them know so that something's bothering you. Because if you don't let them know, they're basically walking on eggshells and you are a ticking time bomb, because they may say something or do something and you basically just blow up on them, and they don't deserve that. So let them know, like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You're my man, you're my girls. I had a tough day. What happened? Oh, this is what happened. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you your space today. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take it easy on you today. I'm not gonna let you know that I had a. So I think it's also for men and women, if your partner is having a difficult day, it's okay to switch roles and be like, you know what? I also had a difficult day, but I'm not gonna put this on him right now. Let me just wait. Maybe we can talk about how my boss said something that I didn't like. I'll say that for later on tonight, because right now I want to check on him or her and make sure that they are good and they can unravel. And then when they, I can help them bounce back, because when I'm down, come help me. Yeah,
but you also have to have a boundary. Boundaries are important. You know what I'm saying? There's certain times you have to learn. Like right now is a good time to call. When I'm with my fam, I'm chilling with the fam. You feel me? As much as you were getting to know each other, when I'm with the family, I'm gonna be with the family, and I got respect there on both ends. There's also like, when is too much too much? When do you start to become too attached to having that, people along with you, and it's not healthy anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it tough, because our society says you're doing too much anyway? So how do we find that boundary? Because as guys, we get put in a position real quick, because our peers, at least when I was younger, they used to laugh. If you went out and you bought some girls some flowers, or if you like, yo, homie, like, yo, she just texted you, dog. Why are you responding so fast? Just chill.
I feel you. Yeah, like when they're like, oh, you're doing too much, or that's always been weird for me, because with girls, you can never tell. Girls might be like, you're doing too much, and then you're like, well, dang, like I like you though. So it's difficult for you to be able to know now, especially now when, doing too much can just be a simple thing. Like, I got you flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I text you good morning every day. It's sometimes certain girls don't like certain things like that. So you having to navigate and try to understand what girls like, or maybe for a girl to a guy, it's just like, what is too much for a guy? Maybe they're not used to texting a lot. They don't like to text a lot. And you would think that's crazy being in the situation you're in now, but that's a reality. Like, certain people don't like to over communicate, and they're not good at that. So, having to figure that out. But what do you think there is such thing as too much right now?
Right now, there is, because it's changed. It's changed because, like I said, everything is put into this bucket right here, because everything is virtual. You know what I mean? So everything is being put into the same bucket, and it's a matter of time until that bucket overflows and spills. Yeah. So you need to be smart, and like Jabbar said earlier, use the finesse game, because like, yo, look, Ramadan, for example, right? your girl or your guy only got 2 or 3 hours sleep, you ain't gonna call him at 7 o'clock in the morning. Hey, good morning, baby. You're not gonna send him 5 text messages, because those text messages could do what? Wake them up. And some people, once they wake up,
they're up.
They can't go back to sleep. You know what I mean? So that's the things I'm talking about. You gotta be smart. You know what I mean? Or if you know that you haven't talked to somebody all day and it's 12 o'clock at night, hey, just want to say good night. Call me in the morning. You don't have to call me. You feel me? Then, they'll put them at ease, like, hey, I'm safe, anything, then that's straight. What you gonna do? Call them 2 or 3 times at night. Yo, what are you doing? Well, I just
Speaking of someone calling you, right?
You call them 2 or 3 times at night, like, I just had to hear your voice. You know what I mean? Like, I had to hear your voice before you slept. It's like, alhamdulillah, I sent you that text and everything, but it's like, now I can't go back to sleep. So that's those boundaries I'm talking about. But before this happened, this whole thing, I don't think there was too much.
well, I think it goes back to there was a routine.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly,
it's difficult to, like, we're able to have conversation with people at 2 a.m. because nobody's asleep. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And especially when you're working from home, you know what I'm saying? Granted, it's going to be it's a lot different with people able to go to work again and be out and about. But even still, like, being in this more secluded sort of environment where it's more difficult to travel, it's more we're in a more restrictive social environment. It's difficult for me to be able to pinpoint what you're going to be doing throughout your day, especially like me. I'm a freelancer, so my work is dotted. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing because now there is no routine, so you don't know what's going on. So you can be at the point like, so what you doing now? What are you up to now? Mm-hmm. What you doing now? Mm-hmm. It's like at first it's okay because, like, oh, I'm at the bus stop now. I'm at the train stop now. I just got some food. I'm doing that. So
but you here's the thing with when you have a girl is that you start to understand her day. You start to understand, okay, she's probably up right now. Yep. She's getting ready. Mm-hmm. I'll give her a call now. And she'll be on her commute.
Exactly.
Oh, like, nah, she told me she had a meeting today. Mm-hmm. Nah, she's good. Now it's like, it's not the same because even if you got meetings, you're taking them at home and it's not the same mentality of, oh, I have to go to a meeting. It's just like, oh, I got a call coming in at this time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot different. But if you're smart, you're able to adapt and understand that, and you don't take anything personal.
On the other side, do you think people are doing enough? Based on your relationships, we're talking about friends, anybody, do you think people do enough?
I have to say, yeah. I think for the people that I know, everybody is in a position where they want to just hear from people. Like, I've hit up people I haven't talked to in a while, just to kind of see how they're doing and how's it going and things like that. So for me, I feel as though certain people in my life have stepped up a bit. Like, I talk to certain friends a lot more often now than before. But yeah, I mean, bro, it's just difficult. Like, right now is a taxing time mentally for a lot of people. So the one thing I wanted to mention before is you also have to be okay with someone needing space. Mm-hmm. Because too much becomes too much when someone feels suffocated by you. They feel overwhelmed by you. And if it gets to that point, especially when you're at home, it's like there is no safe. You can't say I'm in a meeting. Yeah. You don't want to drive somebody to the point where they're saying, stop talking to me, I need some time.
Yeah, that's too far to go.
Yeah, you got to give somebody their space to just do them and relax and not have to feel like they got to dedicate a solid amount of time just for you because you need it. You don't want to seem needy for attention during this time. But that's difficult. That's I understand it's very hard.
Follow up with that because that loneliness factor is out the roof right now, and that desperation. Because you get to the point where you feel like nobody understands you. Your fam don't understand you. Parents don't understand you. Your friends don't understand you. The only person that understands you is that one person or your best friend. Mm-hmm. Your best friend's busy, then who you got? That one person. But you cannot put that on them, just like you said, Jabril. Because if you're feeling lonely, put them hands up and talk to God. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is, I've never made this much dua in my life these past 2-3 months just because I've been like, you know what? God, I need to talk to you. Like I'm calling people. Everybody busy.
You're the only one that can help me right now.
Exactly. So I think we need to start going back to those basics too, because Allah is always listening and Allah will never be busy.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, if you're asking yourself, can you overdo it in quarantine? Yes, you can. Even though everyone's at home, they don't have where to go. This is a time for you to really connect more to yourself and then try and connect with others after. Even if you're in a committed relationship. Let me ask you this. Like I said in the beginning, you're engaged now. So is it different for you now that you're engaged? Is there more pressure or is there less pressure, to like keep and maintain a relationship?
I think a little bit of both. It's less pressure because I know if I don't talk to my significant other, it's all right.
Got you. You're not you don't have to be on your P's and Q's as much. Like, oh, she better not be texting nobody else.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
But the pressure is, how do I keep things moving forward? What's next for us? What am I doing to lead the way? Am I just thinking about now, like, oh, she's not texting me? Or am I thinking like, all right, I need to start planning for the future? Things right now are uncertain. So maybe I need to stack up. So there's a lot more things on the back end that I need to do. The front end work is done. I'm done with the front office. Now it's time for
she's in.
It's time for the back office work. How am I moving things around? Where's the money going? Where are we going to stay? You know what I mean? How am I going to start?
How has that been for you?
That's been difficult. You know, but alhamdulillah, it's been a blessing because I know that I'm capable. Like Allah, that's,
you want to give me more you can bear, right?
When Allah says that, like, I will never put more than what somebody can bear. I believe what Allah means by that is that probably by 1%, he gonna feel your turn up to the rim.
Oh, but when the water starts, like you can see it's like domed up. You're like, bro, how is this not spilling over? You got like sip the suds off. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like more than you can bear. But I'm just like, but then when you get out of it, you're like, wow, subhanallah, how did I get out of this situation? And guess what? You get stronger. Because I think I said this earlier, the problems never stop. They actually get worse. But,
God dang.
But you get stronger, you know what I mean? Yeah, and then you start battling them. And then now you can battle the problems with somebody else. So there's a lot of back end work.
That's a good point. Because you think about it, as a guy, when you're in the process of, getting yourself straight to be married, you do have to think about a lot of those things. You're not just thinking about, I love this person and I want to be with them. You're like, okay, well, we need a place to live. Or if you look, here's the other thing. Right now is the time where you guys and girls shoot your shots, hit whoever, because everybody's in a long distance relationship. Don't forget that everybody is in a long distance relationship.
But I think social media done also mess up the game too.
Why is that?
Because it's hard. Because sometimes, like, say you're trying to talk to somebody, right? And they're on social media. You start getting upset because you're like, yo, you online, but you ain't talking to me. That's that loneliness that I was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, homie, just chill for a little bit. She won't come back to you, just chill.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Maybe there's a campaign that she's going, or maybe she's trying to save the world right now. Chill out.
Bro, the male ego is fragile, bro.
She writing on her wall. She needs to be writing me a letter.
Right? Like, oh, so you can do a boomerang? You can do a boomerang, but you can't hit me back?
Oh, wait. That's what social media messed up.
Yeah, no, bro, you're right.
Because you didn't have all that access back in the day.
Yeah, you can't keep tabs on nobody like
that. Back in the high school days, all I could do was sit by that phone.
Bro.
So I said she gonna call me at 5 o'clock. If she don't call me, then it is what it is.
Look, by 5:15, I'm out.
I gotta go play outside. You feel me?
Yeah, bro. Damn, you bring up a good point about that. Like social media has you keeping tabs, bro.
Now it's like, okay,
getting upset.
Now it's like 5:01. She ain't call me. Let me get on Twitter real quick. Let me go and see on Instagram. Is she active right now? That plays on you, bro, and that will slowly.
Damn, that's crazy.
That slowly will.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. You bring up a great point.
Social media is an animal, dog.
Yeah. My relationship right now with social media is that I'm trying to actually get off of it. And I'm being serious. Like,
y'all can have this.
Yo, I've used social media a lot less since going down in this lockdown, quarantine environment, because I realized that about myself. Like, I don't like the fact that I'm looking at social media to keep up with certain people, to see who's doing what. Like, at some level, you just need to focus on you. And like you said, you gotta, if you're trying to get married or focus on your relationship, you got a lot of other stuff you're trying to deal with. Yep. And including getting your emotional state right. You know what I'm saying? So
good point.
This is a time where like it's good for all of us to really focus on us and getting ourselves together. But with our phones, it seems as though we're constantly still looking at the Joneses. We're constantly looking at what someone else is doing and saying, well, damn, like, I need to be doing this better. I need to be doing that. This time has shown that everybody's on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Ain't no girls wearing makeup right now. Ain't nobody going to no photo shoots. Ain't nobody going and traveling the world. They might post pictures of it, old stuff, but the reality is everybody's sitting at home.
Facts.
So if you're like, social media is still in that space, in that state where people will start feeling insecure because they're like, damn, like, maybe, oh, I wish I could be doing this or that, or like they're going to find some reason to look at someone else and say, man, I want to be in that situation. Yes. I wish I was married right now. Well, there's some people that are married like, damn, I wish I was single right now. This is crazy. You know, my who said it? I can't remember who exactly said, but it was one of my friends. Oh, it was my boy out in Cali. He said, this time is the best time to be in a relationship because, especially if it's he's not Muslim, so he lives with his girl, but he was like, if there was any time that I would know if this wasn't the right one for me, it would be right now. Because he said she would either, like, if I couldn't stand her and we couldn't be together, we would know it right now. You know what I mean? And I think the same thing for newlyweds or people that are engaged. Like, if you're getting annoyed by the person that you are intending to be married to and you just don't want to talk to them, then you know that, okay, I need to, we can't do this. No,
that's true. You know, I think now too, because we have all this time, I feel like it's easier to spot the red flags now. Like I said, everything is not on the go. Now, when you see stuff and you can actually take the time and analyze it. Like you said, you got all this time on your hands. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna talk about the uncomfortable stuff. You're not gonna be going with the wind or getting dragged by the wave, you feel me, or the tide. You're gonna be like, well, I guess we gotta talk about this.
Yeah. Let me ask you, so majority of your communication is via phone call or like texting? Are you FaceTiming?
I gotta do a little bit of everything. Like I said, it's that creative space, text. I'm doing a lot more gifts now. Like Jabril saying, like it took me 3 years just to send my first emoji. I said I wasn't. Oh,
like you mean like
I was the first converter? Yeah. So I'm just, just trying to switch up a little bit.
You start using social media like the old people that get on Facebook after it's been out for a decade. They're like, all right, how do you do this?
So I had to start doing everything: text messages, gifts, voice notes. You know what I mean? Then the FaceTime. But sometimes even with the FaceTime, you just got to do, FaceTime audio, FaceTime. Even did things where she wanted me to meet some of her friends. So we did a group FaceTime or a Zoom, you know what I mean? And then we would play games on it and stuff like that, We all
that's how you know you engaged. Nah, bro, I'm Gucci.
So you got to do stuff like that because they miss their friends too. They want you to meet their friends, you know what I mean? So it was just... It's the time to do that, and you got the time that I can be at the comfort of my home just chilling. So
that's actually not what I want. I don't want to meet your friends while I'm at home chilling. Like, that is, surely do not call your friend unless like I got toothpaste on my chin, like,
But that's a different level. That's a different level. That's to maintain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's not in the talking stage. See, we're at two different stages. Exactly. Like I'm at the stage where I got to make sure I eat properly. Like I got to make sure I chew my food 40 times before I swallow. You know what I'm saying? I got to come in proper.
Let's talk about more the romantic part, right? How do you keep the romantic intimacy up?
Oh, like so you're asking Muslim Hitch now.
Muslim Hitch, because
Cousin Brill is gone. Muslim Hitch is here.
People know that body language is the most part when it comes to communication. You ain't got that body language unless you're FaceTiming, but still, it's even hard. How do you still keep things romantic?
Every girl is different, bro.
Because you can't hit him with that. You can't hit him with.
Right? It was like, how you? You can't. So every girl is different. I think it still goes back to having a lot of communication and understanding what attracts them, what they like, and if that's compatible with what you do. So, the 5 love languages, we talked about that. Mm-hmm. Understanding what your girl's love languages are, and then saying, okay, like if she's like, I like positive affirmations and physical touch. Well,
I need to ramp up on that positive affirmations a little bit more now, because that physical touch.
Positive affirmations. And then maybe like her third is like gift giving. So maybe you just try and do like little small things, right? Yeah. In terms of gift giving. But even with physical touch, there has to be a certain way around that. Maybe you FaceTime more because she just likes to visually see you, whereas other girls don't really care for that. They don't really need that as much, but they care about quality time. So maybe just hopping on the phone with her and being able to talk to her while she's maybe doing her workout, or she's just washing the dishes and you just on the phone. There's been times where you just get on the phone and it'd be silent. You'd be like, I just literally just want to be around you. I just want to hear you breathe.
I like that.
As weird as that, like, shorty, like, that's how lonely it is. I'm just trying to hear you.
Your breathing has changed since last week, yo.
Were you running? Or you must have just went up the stairs today. Like, you're kind of heavy.
I think that was that research that we're talking about. Guys, this is the point where you listen now.
You don't
figure out what, like, I like what you said, Jabril. Figure them out. Because, this is a time for guys to come up on top. Yeah. Because if you can keep them going and aroused mentally now, once we get out of this, it's gonna be a wrap.
Oh, it's a breeze.
It's gonna be a breeze. Bro. So like I said, if you can put in the extra work hard now, because it's gonna make things a lot better.
I would have to argue and say that I think more of the attention needs to go to you, focusing on you.
Yes.
Because you can get wrapped up into somebody so tightly wound that you become just obsessed with what are they doing? Why aren't they texting me?
I'm assuming the fact that you're doing that, like you're already comfortable with yourself, and then you're doing that.
Exactly. Bro, being in a relationship, especially like this, it plays on you because you do become very attached to somebody. So, that's why, as Imam Shadi said, he said, like, when a man wants you, he's going to become attached, and there's nothing you can do. So that's why you got to be very careful when you talk to guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's just our nature, because we're very selective, but when we find one that we want, we're attached, we're cling on. So I think for ladies, be very, very careful with who you give attention to, because if you give it to the wrong person, you can't be mad when they start to feel, when they make the decision like, hey, I like you,
and they start hitting you up.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't feel weirded out by that unless you make certain things up front, right? But guys, don't play yourself like you, and this goes both ways, like, because it's not obviously guys that get attached and girls don't. Like, if you feel yourself getting attached to somebody, but you haven't had that outright communication of like, hey, like, what is this? Or are we just trying to get to know each other and we'll see where it goes? Are you looking for marriage? Am I like, you got to have those conversations, because if you don't, you can literally just do this forever.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that people are more serious right now more than ever? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, the way of the world right now, maybe, I don't know, obviously there's some savages out there, but people don't have time to be upholding 3 different conversations, talking to 5 different girls. They're tired. They're stressed out. Corona. So
Corona, like, that's all you need to hit. Corona.
COVID. So ladies and guys, pay attention and look at who's in front of you. If somebody's out there and giving you their genuine time and really being vulnerable, pay attention and give them the chance, because I think before any moment in time, they could be talking. There's millions of people, billions of people online right now.
Someone's giving their attention respectively.
Somebody's giving their attention respectively. Don't play them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were asking, do I feel like people are more serious now?
More sincere. Serious kind of fluctuates, but more sincere in regards to reaching out, because they're going to get tired. Like I was saying, everything going on right now, they're not going to keep reaching out to you. You feel me? Or people might just be bored. I don't know.
No, all right. So let me.
Question.
I'm trying to clarify the question. Are you saying are people playing games, or are they being?
Do you believe people are more sincere and serious right now more than ever, based on the climate of what's going on?
In terms of trying to get married?
Yes, or just trying to reach out and be honest. Like, hey, look, I'm getting to know you. Obviously for marriage because we're Muslim. But do you believe that people are more serious now more than ever?
To be honest, no. I think more people are bored. I mean, it's easy for me to get to know a girl without even thinking about what can happen after quarantine. Like I can hit up 10 girls, and whichever one's answer back, I'm like, yo, all these girls are cute. Let me hit them up and just start texting. Let me get to know them. Let's fantasize about ideas that could possibly never be, because the reality is that all we can do is live in a fantasy world. We can FaceTime, we can do all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, you know, you have a business in Texas and you can't leave that, right? You can't leave your business. And she works in Dubai and has a great, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's easier for you to just fantasize with an idea.
I see what you're saying.
Than to actually think about making it reality. That doesn't mean you can't talk to someone that's international or doesn't live where you live. It's just that it's a lot easier for you to ignore all those things because everyone is online right now. But on the flip side of that, I think that they're the ones who are serious. This is a good time because now you really have to figure out how important someone is to you and what your relationship with that person is. If you're talking to a girl or you're talking to a guy and he or she has become like your best friend, that's important. Like if you're confiding in them, like, bro, it's been times you get on the phone, you start tearing up and crying because you're like, no, but I mean, seriously, like, because there's like craziness, like with the riots and everything.
That's what you mean.
Like, it's been like, for me, it's been a chaotic time. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, man, if this is, someone who I'm taking serious, right? Then if I'm able to be this vulnerable with them, that means a lot. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm able to be vulnerable with you and share these emotions, and when something goes on, or maybe I see something funny and I want to share it with you, that's a big deal, because now that lets me know that I'm one, thinking about you all the time. Yeah. But I'm not just thinking about you in a trivial sense. I'm thinking about you as someone who I really want to be a part of my life, even after COVID.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Shit, man, that was deep.
That's why I call him Muslim Hitch.
Because now there's a lot more introspection. Like, yo, I don't know if we're gonna make it out of this right now. And when we do make it out, inshallah, and if we do, you're the person I want to be with. Because if this happens again, there's a second wave or a riot comes, just know that I want to spend those last times with you.
Yeah, that is true though. Look, oh Allah, don't let me die alone. Don't let me die alone.
Why is everybody trying to get married before the second wave hit? Hey, look, Shawty. That's a new pickup line, yo, Shawty. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you, then if we get locked down, we gotta have our own spot, because you know what I'm saying.
Like, I ain't trying to be next to mom and pops, you know, in the room. I don't want to hear none of that.
They might get ready for the second wave, like it's like World War II. Look, we gotta get ready. That's the spot we gonna get.
We need a barricade. Yeah, no, bro, like that is real though. Like,
oh snap.
But my question is to anybody listening to this: if you're talking to somebody, how patient are you willing to be? Yeah. That's a very serious question. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Mm-hmm. If you're talking to a girl, or for girls, if you're talking to a guy, and you don't feel as though if this takes a year to make happen is worth it, you need to be honest with yourself. How long are you willing to wait? Because Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, like, you don't know how long it'll take. Allah is testing everybody right now, because let's be real, you could have started talking to somebody in January and y'all could have made the intention, hey, we want to be married by May and move in together. Well, that's not happening, right? Or maybe some people went the route of doing like Zoom marriages. So it changes the game a little bit, but if that's not the way you want to go, if you don't want to do the whole Zoom marriage and you want to be more traditional, you want to take your time, that's perfectly fine, right? How patient are you willing to be though? You know, because you can attest, and I mean, maybe you've shared this not so much on the podcast, but this process has taken a lot longer for you than you imagine.
I was just waiting for you to wrap up that point. All timelines have been prolonged. All timelines have been prolonged. Even my timeline at Costco has been prolonged. Everything has to, grocery stores, it takes me 30 minutes. Now it takes me an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Just the climate of the world has changed. So we have to be patient overall with everything that we do. So we can no longer be like, yo, it took homie 2 months. It took so-and-so 60 days, 30 days, 90 days. There's no more timelines to go off of. You are on your own time and you are on Allah's time, which has always been like that.
Yeah, it's always been the case.
As Muslims, we're always like, yo, dang, I'm not doing this right, because in the Muslim community, it's an average between 60 to 90 days. It's like you're flipping a home or something. If you don't close your first deal within 90 days, money back guarantee. No, that's not how it works here. You know, you're on your own timeline. You're on God's time. So, guys, like Jabril said, patient and following patience is perseverance. Are you telling yourself, like, you know what? Whatever it takes. I think that's what guys and girls forget, because when push comes to shove, you're like, you know what, dog? Shot ain't even worth it.
But then that makes me ask the question of, is anyone worth taking time like that?
Yes.
Right? Yeah?
What? Think about it, bro. If it takes you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then you get to spend the next 70 years, bro. Come on, talk about ROI. If I put money into a stock and it takes me 3 years and it comes over 5,000%, I'm waiting.
It's worth the time.
It is worth it.
I do feel as though people are being very impatient, you know, with
it's an investment,
the process. Yeah, it really is an investment, man. And when the investment comes, you're going to spend time, money, you're going to lose sleep, you're going to stress. Relationships are stressful. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yeah. And I feel like on a man's end, it's a lot more stressful because usually we're the ones in pursuit, right? So we're stressing more about like you were saying when it comes to social media, like, yo, what's she doing? And for us, like a lot of times, like we do our work and then we're just like, yo, I'm free. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm chilling. But a girl will find something to do. Like, she ain't got nothing to do. She will find something to do.
I'm painting my nails. Chill out.
Yo, like I just binge watched 3 different series on Netflix. Like, what? How? Right. So I think as a man, we really need to take this time to, one, get to know ourselves, practice patience, and really try to have more understanding that it's not just about us. There's multiple people's lives going on, and everybody's trying to figure out how to figure themselves out and their situation out during this time. So relationships are something that we're always going to be talking about. It's always going to be
to the end of time.
Yeah, to the end of time. But like right now we're in a place in time in history where it's never been like this before.
Yes, no. And one thing I wanted to hit on more for all my business people out there, we talk about the investments, but what do the best businessmen and women do? They keep reinvesting, right? Alhamdulillah, we got a podcast for 2 years. We just got paid for the first time in a while because everything was based on our own money. Jabril didn't cash out with the money he got. I didn't cash out.
I got something to tell you.
All that hard work, and we're like, all right, good job. But guess what? We got to put the money back into the business. So that's how it's going to be the same thing with the relationship. Like, 1 year investment too, alhamdulillah. But guess what? Reinvest. And I don't know if that's the guy's job to think that way or the woman's job. I don't know.
I feel like as a man, we have to think of a lot of those things. Yeah. I'm not saying that the women don't, but like as a man, like we're always...
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, you're always having to think of the future and always have to think of different scenarios and how to make certain things work out because we want to make it as easy on the woman as possible. Like, bro, let's just put it this way. The woman has a lot going on
just in general
once you're in the marriage. Yeah. The men, like we have to be able to maintain and make sure we even get there.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Like we always are thinking forward. We're always having to worry about maybe this will happen, but we're having to worry about, you know, like how is she going to feel about this? That's what a good man would do. That's what a good man should do.
Please say that. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's dudes that don't take their wives' feelings into consideration, and vice versa. There's women that don't take their husbands' input into consideration.
I want to hear more about the part that you talked about, because I'm just learning this through my process.
Right.
It's called preventative compassion, like you just mentioned. How do we make everything easier for them? What do you mean by, like, tell me, because people probably think, like, what does that mean? Like, you're not just putting on their shoes in the morning. Like, what do you mean, like, you're making it easier for them?
What I mean by that is being forward thinking about, hey, like, I think this would be a good way for us to live our lives, right? Like, I do this sort of work, you do that sort of work. Your family's here, my family's there. Like, where should we live? Like, how are we going to pay for certain things? Like, going into something with a plan. As Mr. David G. Garrity once said in Macroeconomics, a plan is useless, yet planning is indispensable. And right now is the perfect time to see that, because all of us had plans about 2020 and they all went out the window. But if you were the type of person who is adaptable, even with your plan being shot, the fact that you did planning beforehand lets you know that I still have some sort of idea of what the goal is. If you didn't have a goal you were just kind of going by a breeze, shooting by the breeze, you're still going to be in trouble. But if you had a plan and you were like, okay, baby, this is what we're going to do. This is what I envision. This is what the life is going to look like for us. If that plan is still intact, if that goal is still intact, the plan doesn't matter. Exactly. As long as we know what we want to get towards. You know what I mean?
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
That was good.
So you got to think ahead. One thing that I did say earlier that I quickly thought about and disagree with is...
I got to take it back.
I disagree with what I said about this is the first time in history we've had to deal with relationships like this. That's not true.
Tell me.
Because in the olden days, think about it. You get married to someone and you have to go off to war.
Oh, yeah.
You might be gone for 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying?
You might get a letter. Or, you know, like various scenarios, you know, your work. Think about, you know, on the Prophet's day, yes. he was a trader. So you could be going off to go trade in Syria. Them caravan trips was heavy.
Yeah, think about it. You'd be gone for like 5-6 months. You know, a month up there. Maybe you stay for like 2 months to sell and trade, and you come back. That's 4 months. And
the wives are at home. They're just waiting for not the messenger, a messenger to come back. Because they always send somebody back like, hey, everybody's okay. So just waiting for that one person to bring the message back.
And that message you might get a message every other month or once a month. And so
you talk about patience. That is another level.
We live in a time now where everything is about instant. Everything is instantaneous. You want instant gratification. And we even want that out of one another. Like, I'll be real. When I send a text, I'm like, yo, well, I know your phone is somewhere around you, so I want to get that text back soon. A sign of maturity, especially now with COVID, is understanding that when I send a message, I'm not expecting you to get back to me because I realize that you too have a life. Even with nothing going on, maybe you just want to read a book. And maybe I should do the same. Maybe I need to get off my phone a little bit and do the same.
I want to get you off your phone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I had to circle back on myself with that because I was just like, that's not true.
Appreciate you pointing that out.
There's been majority of history has been a time where relationships, there was more trust and there was more confidence in someone. Like, you wouldn't marry somebody if you didn't trust that they could go to the market and be gone for a whole day and they weren't cheating on you.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like, I'm going to the store. If you're gone for 3 hours, you're like, yo, baby, what's up?
They ran out of milk?
Yeah. You ain't need that much sugar. Like, you feel me? So yeah, we need to understand that we live in a time now where, like, instant gratification it's a facade. It's fugazi. It's not like our brains are overstimulated constently.
I didn't think about instant gratification in that way. You feel me? I thought it was more like, oh, I need to go out there and get paid or figure. Like, I didn't think it was that way where I need to always get updates from you. You know, like, our minds are like software now. Like, you know, we need updates. Like, I need to know. Like,
just how iOS, bro. iOS is crazy. Like, every week I gotta get an update.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I think that's why history is so important. You have to understand history to understand yourself better. Understand what you're capable of. We are so capable of.
We're better than this, man.
Yeah, we're better than this. We're so much better than this. But that's why history is important, because if you understand where we have come as a people, like what societal norms have been and where they're going, you realize that social media is fugazi. It's not a necessity. This instantaneous feeling of, yes, I got something back, or yes, she replied. It's addicting.
Yeah,
it is addicting. So that's why I said it's important for us to also get to know ourselves and be comfortable with just being alone, because there was, in the old days, there was no cell phones. Like, you take a ride on the horse, it's completely quiet. There were no iPhones, there were no headphones. You were there. Yeah, your mind's thinking about all these different things, but you're there. You can only think through this stuff so much. At some point, you just gotta be like, well, it is what it is. And when you get a letter from a woman, you get, oh yeah, like, that she put some quality into it. I'm not just shooting you a good morning letter. Like, imagine you haven't heard from me in two months, and you get a letter from me that says good morning with a smiley face. The fuck? Like, no.
You talking about me?
What? Like I'm doing good today. Like, we need to really put emphasis on the quality rather than just the quantity. So if you and your girl don't talk for a whole day, maybe that's good, because that gives you guys, a couple days maybe where you're not really talking as much. You can kind of just relax. You can chill. You can. Then that's when the question, hey, so what's going on? How you doing? What do you got going on today?
There's a lot to catch up on then.
It's a lot more to catch up on. So you got to figure. I'm learning that now as a 28-year-old man. Like, we're always learning that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be cool.
I think another thing that Muslims do that I think they need to be very careful of. I don't want to compare us to the Christians or any other community, right? But I feel like they don't get as involved in marriages like we do.
How so? How do you mean?
For example, I have one of my good friends at work. He's Catholic, right? He told me about his whole marriage process. He didn't have 30 people tell him how he should do his marriage, and he wasn't talking to 40 people about his marriage. You know what I mean? I think in the Muslim community, like, as soon as somebody hears something about, somebody's marriage may not be going the best way, you get inboxes and DMs from everybody. Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. Bro.
I see what you mean.
Like, nobody knows your situation better than yourself.
Yeah.
Go to Allah. You don't need this advice from all these other people, because 1, they don't know. 2, you can't trust them. 3, you don't know what's going on in their household. I don't know what this obsession is in the Muslim community, bro. Alhamdulillah, like, it's beautiful because you want to see people's marriages work and everything, but people want what they can't have, and you might have that. So one thing
someone else wants.
So one thing that I've done, I've cut out so much different advice. Obviously, if I hear something and I like it and it's good, boom. But I know ultimately, I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my mistakes. I'm going to take responsibility for it. And I need to sleep in the bed that I built. And what I mean by that is that whatever I do, I got to face the consequences, good and bad.
Yeah.
So one thing I've done is, the more that I'm getting through this process, that was probably very fobbish of me. I know.
No. It was funny because that was slightly fobbish. I'm just thinking about what you said on the live the other day, where you're like, you got to pull the rug. I was like,
pull the plug. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're like, you got to pull the carpet. No, you said pull the carpet. I was like, pull the carpet. No, you got to pull the rug. Pull the rug. So,
you mean pull the plug? Same thing. They rhyme.
Oh man, that joint had me rolling.
Oh yeah, no, but that's what I mean by, because I don't see people that are successful old heads asking so much different advice when it comes to stuff like this, bro.
Yeah.
Trust yourself.
Yeah, and trust your partner.
Trust your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Trust Allah, man, because don't let anybody get in between y'all two. Because as soon as
people will try.
As soon as somebody gets in there, it can be the shaitan, it can be your mom, your dad, your grandma. You know what they gonna do? You know what a wedge is, right? They gonna slowly pull that thing away, because the only thing that can really bring y'all together is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in mercy. That is,
you always gotta keep them in there.
You gotta keep Allah at the middle between y'all two. It's not even y'all two. It's Allah in the middle between y'all two. It's that gorilla glue that will always keep you together. But if you let shaitan or somebody else get into you, they're gonna break it up. not
that's why
10 out of 10 times.
That's why a lot of
guaranteed.
relationships that are based off in, you know, like I don't want to say haram things, but because it's not every situation is like it's haram.
Yeah.
But you know, relationships that are based off of trivial things. You know what I'm saying? Like drama. Like a relationship that's based off of drama always going on. It's very hard for those things to last. You know what I'm saying? Because constant bickering, constant gossiping. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a lot. So it's very hard to make something like that work. Whereas if you and I are rooted in our love for Islam and the history, and we're rooted in the love for wanting to see Muslims thrive, we have something to base off of. We like even if our goals in life overall aren't ideally the exact same. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a salesperson and you're a painter, obviously there's a big difference there. But if your goal is to still see Islam thrive overall, and you want to do things to help that, then at least we know that we both have a very similar goal. We're both going towards the same thing. We both care about the community. We both care about important things of that nature.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
And that's what remember we were talking about what conversations to have during quarantine?
Exactly. Those are conversations.
Those are the conversations. So if y'all out there not as creative and as witty as some people are, just bring it back to the faith. Bring it back to the community. Bring it back to that, you know? So
yeah. Look, I want to go back to FaceTime because I didn't really talk a lot about FaceTime.
Okay.
FaceTime is tricky. Don't get caught up in the facade. Like don't let FaceTime get you. It can get you.
You guys don't know the shaitan built FaceTime.
I think God built FaceTime. Thank the Lord. FaceTime is good though because you need it. Like you need it.
You do.
You need FaceTime. You need to have face-to-face interaction.
But you need a curfew on FaceTime.
Guys.
You need boundaries on FaceTime.
Yes. Yeah, you do need boundaries. You do need boundaries. I will say this. Guys, don't pry. You gotta respect the boundaries. You have to respect the boundaries, man. And guys will pry. Like we're guys. You already know we're gonna pry. We're gonna try it. It's just that's just how it goes. Women, don't be surprised. The thing, like, don't be surprised because at the end of the day, a Muslim man is still a man, and we still have desires and things of that nature. So
protect yourself.
Yeah, like we get DMs every now and then where sisters be like, "Look at what this brother said to me," and I'm just like, "Well, that's kind of normal." Like it's a man expressing that he's very interested in you. He's calling you beautiful. Yeah, and there's a respectful way to do it and a disrespectful way to do it always. But just know that certain people aren't built that way. Certain guys don't know how to come correct. Yes. You know what I'm saying? They just fearless and they're gonna shoot it. They're gonna shoot a shot with no form. That's
what I was saying, bro. Like you said yesterday, ladies, set the tone. If you want to do a FaceTime, keep it seldom. You feel me? And if you're on the FaceTime and he's giving you compliments like, yo, that's a beautiful hijab, and he's never said that ever. There's only so much you can comment hijab on. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's only the colors. You can't talk about the texture, maybe about some of the designs, but just be careful because one thing can always lead into another. But set the tone, because when you set the tone, the guy gonna follow.
He's gonna follow suit. This is a dance where you have to lead. Exactly. And for women, this is the dance you gotta lead.
That's the point, you know. So
listen, I think as far as quarantine romance goes, we done covered just about everything.
Just gave you the bag right there.
Yeah, like take this advice and run with it because, to be honest, this is the time, as Mo said, this is the time where you're gonna be successful in trying to, maintain a relationship, better a relationship, make it stronger, make it deeper. Yep. Is like this is if you really trying to get in your marriage bag, this is the time where you really need to invest. You need to invest so you can take that bag home.
Hey, bro. With that being said, brother, thank you, Mr. Hitch.
Yes,
we missed you.
Yes, man. I missed you guys. I hope that your relationships furl. I think that's a word, furl. I hope your relationships blossom like a great flower, and all you guys end up having amazing relationships going forward. Inshallah.
So, Jabril.
Yes, sir.
If people want to hit us up, how can they find us?
Thank you for asking, Muhammad. If you would like to find us, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Young and Muslim. That's YOUNG, the letter N, Muslim, Young and Muslim. And you can find us on YouTube to watch all of our videos and see these beautiful faces at the Young and Muslim podcast. Just make sure you subscribe and like the videos. But
And
Muhammad.
turn that bell notification
Oh, yeah.
on.
Ding.
Ding, ding.
And Muhammad,
Yes.
if they want to listen on the go, on their run, their walk, maybe they're driving around the block, where can they listen?
Well, we are streaming on all of the major pod platforms, such as Google Play,
Mm-hmm.
Stitcher Radio,
Got you.
Apple Podcasts,
Yes, sir.
SoundCloud, Spotify,
Mhm.
Pandora,
Yep.
iHeartRadio.
We're everywhere.
I mean, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You know,
MashaAllah, we're everywhere.
Allahu Akbar, we there. So to make things easier and you don't want to go through all that, just go to our Instagram and Twitter bio, click on it, and you'll find it. So
Yes, sir.
please, don't forget, we need reviews.
Yes, send us reviews. Every review helps us and helps you guys get even better content from us. So
Yep.
we helping each other out here.
Please.
Cool.
And tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes, sir.
We love y'all.
Mo, how long we been on, my friend?
For about hour 11.
All right, so for the last hour and 11 minutes, you have been listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast. I'm Jabril Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And we're leaving with the greens of peace.
Assalamu
Alaikum.
Peace.